Back when we went to college, it was darn near free.
It damn well was.
The millennials look at us now and say, well, geez, boomers, what are we, chopped liver?
Next up, Steve Timmer and Tim O'Brien on the high cost of college education and crushing student loan debt.
Steve, believe it or not, I view myself as a progressive Democrat. And I do appreciate Saunders pushing Clinton more and more and having her adopt progressive positions. Having said that, I know that Bernie scores a lot of points with the millennials by his public college free tuition plan. And I'm not saying that Clinton started out in the same place that Bernie started out at, but aren't they almost there? Don't both those candidates have almost the same program? And isn't Hillary's maybe even better than Bernie's?
Well, I don't know that I can really comment on that.
Well, I can tell you I understand it. I understand they both want to have community colleges tuition free. And that's going to help out a lot of institutions around the country. Okay. And then as far as the regular four-year public colleges, I think they both want students of low means to be able to go to school with no debt. The difference, as I understand it, is that Saunders says that applies to everyone, and Clinton says no, if an individual, and I assume their family, has the means to pay, they should be paying some portion of that post-high school education, right, which kind of sounds like it might make some sense to me.
Well, you know, the thing is, I am the product of two land-grant institutions.
So am I.
And back when we went to college, it was darn near free.
It damn well was.
And the millennials look at us now and say, well, geez, boomers, what are we, chopped liver? You know, and I have to say that I understand that and I agree with it. The idea that college should be much more affordable is attractive to me as an older person, because where are we going to get doctors and lawyers and others who will take public service jobs? They can't afford it now.
But Steve, isn't and I know there's a vast disparity of wealth in the country, although it's not necessarily new. We would probably agree with that. But I've heard that Clinton's stump speech says to the effect, why should the public at large pay to educate Trump's kids?
Okay.
And I mean, to me, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, but then my question to you is, why should wealthy people collect Social Security?
I don't know.
Because they paid into it. And Franklin Roosevelt understood that when the program was first established, that if they made it means tested, that was the surest way to end it.
And you think there's an equivalency between Social Security and free college tuition?
Well, I think the ideas are the same.
It sounds to me it's kind of a false equivalency, with all due respect. I mean, people are going to college because they want to make more than the next guy. Or they've got a lot of reasons, but that's one of the end results. They want to make more than the next guy. And fact of the matter is, at least statistically, they will make more than the next person. So it doesn't seem to me that there's a public purpose in necessarily allowing someone to get ahead and somebody else not to get ahead. And again, we're back to the situation of why should the public have to pay for help educate the people that truly can afford it? I'm not saying that some of these programs that you try and qualify for, they extract the last possible dollar out of the parents. I'm not saying that, but there should be some sort of bright line above which you would have to pay your own tuition, it seems to me.
Well, as somebody who filled out the FAFSA form for several years running, I can tell you that they expect a lot from parents.
Yeah. But this is going to be a whole new program. We're talking, the Sanders program is $700 billion over 10 years, and the Clinton program, as I understand it, is $350 billion over 10 years. I mean, this is an infusion of a lot of money into the program.
Well, and all we have to do is cancel the F-35, and we can pay for college for a generation of people.
Well, it's $700 billion. If we're going to cancel F-35, maybe we can spend it some better place than paying for the cost of tuition of somebody that could afford to pay it themselves.
But I think that's the best investment we could make.
Well,
because we're selling generations of kids into debt peonage, and they can't afford houses, they can't afford kids, they can't afford to get married.
I agree with all of that. But now, there's another point to this, though, Steve, that I think is important. Why I'm going to go to college next year. I just got out of high school. My brother, he went to college 8 years ago. He's saddled with the debt. Why me and not him?
Well, we need to figure out a way to equalize that.
Well, how are you going to do that? Is it
I
going
don't-
to
I don't know.
is it going to double the cost? Is it going to triple the cost of get you into the trillions of dollars for this program? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's sort of a hard sell, isn't it? You alluded to the fact that you went to 2 land-grant institutions. I went to University of Minnesota Law School and to undergraduate,
Right.
and tuition was nominal at that time at best. Isn't the problem, among other things, and maybe the driver of the problem, is that the college's spending on administration and on buildings and on everything other than tuition is just been unchecked and uncontrolled?
Well, I think that's true. I don't think there's any doubt about that. You can you can't throw a wad of paper over at the U without hitting a vice president.
But you correct me if I'm wrong, but does either Sanders or Clinton get to what is one of the roots of the problem? They're just going to throw more money. Well, if you don't have to pay tuition, let's jack that tuition up again by another 100%.
That's a problem. I agree with it.
I know that that's very popular with the people that attend the rallies, and it should be, because you've already identified the side effects of crushing student debt. I mean, it's just, I can't envision coming out of college with the kind of debt that these individuals are placing. And not only does it put a damper on their personal lives, but it drives them out of the professions that they might otherwise want to be in.
Democratic Visions is independently crafted by volunteers, mostly Democrats, from Eden Prairie, Minnetonka, Edina, and Bloomington.